Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today, Fatty Catty stares at the dried fish hung high on the shelf, drooling. All the cats are attracted, wondering how they can reach the yummy fish beyond their leap. So they come up with an idea of stacking on each other's back as to grab the fish. You'll be helping them make a tower of cats. Cat Tower is a stacking game featuring papercraft cats for 2 to 6 players. Takes 15 to 20 minutes to play, for ages 6 and up, and published by Renegade Game Studios. Today we'll be doing a rule school. I'll teach you how to set up and play the game so that you don't have to read the rulebook yourself. Now I've placed timestamps below me in the description of this video, just in case you want to jump to a specific section of the rules. Well, without further ado, let's get started. Cat Tower is a cat stacking game for 2 to 6 players where you'll be stacking all these different types of adorable cat types. You'll be rolling the die and that will tell you how you have to stack the cats. Sometimes it's easy by just placing 1 cat on there. Other times you'll be placing 2 cats on there. Maybe you'll be placing them upside down. Or maybe you'll be placing a Fatty Catty card with a special token which does other things, like skipping the next player's turn, or reversing the player order, or maybe even on their belly. And of course you're trying to do all this without knocking down the tower. If so, you'll get penalty cards back into your hand. And you're trying to be the first to get rid of all your cat cards to win. To set up, first you're going to find the 42 cat cards. Now you'll know they're cat cards because they have foldable lines. Now these are the 7 different types of cat cards that there are, and you'll fold them all so they kind of look like this. Then you'll create a draw deck of all those folded cat cards. You're then going to deal 7 of these cat cards out to each player. Now the players can stack them up like this, or if you have room on the table you can spread them out to see how cute they are. Next you'll separate out the 12 Fatty Catty cards. Now there's 2 types, they look just like this, and a total of 12 of them. You'll set them off to the side for now, and you can tell that they're Fatty Catty because they do not have any fold lines like the cat cards do like this. You'll also place the 15 cat tokens face down. Face down looks just like this with the pink background with this cat, and you'll place those off to the side just next to those Fatty Catty cards. The object of the game is to be placing these cards on the cat tower and being the first to run out of all of your cat cards. The game is played in successive turns, in clockwise order by default until that win condition is met. At the beginning of the game, you'll take one of the cat cards from the draw deck and you'll place it in the middle of the table. This is the base of the cat tower. Now if you're playing with 6 players, you don't take it from the draw pile. The first player will place their cat from their cards. And that first player is always the youngest player. On your turn, you're simply going to roll the die, and then based upon what comes up, you'll do something specific. Here is called 1 cat. You'll simply just stack one of your cats from your cat cards onto the cat tower. Now when placing a cat, you must alternate directions. This one is facing forward and back, so the one that you're placing is going to face in the other direction. You want to make sure it's creased well, and you're going to stack it just like that. And when you stack it, please say meow before you do it. Now we'll talk about what happens if the cat tower falls a little bit later. Now typically after you roll the die and you do what the die says, it'll be the next player's turn clockwise by default. However, I'm going to go over all the different things the dice can do. If you roll a dried fish, you'll stack 1 cat card upside down on the cat tower. Again, always alternating directions, so you place on the top, front and back like this. If you roll the 2 cat side, you have to stack 2 cat cards one after another onto the cat tower. So maybe you've got one like this, and you've got the second one like that. If you roll the cat paws, you get to select one of your cat cards in front of you and pass it to any other player. That player then has to place this cat card on top. If you roll the Fatty Catty, you basically take either one of these Fatty Catty type cards, you'll stack it on the cat tower, then you'll take one of these face down cat tokens, you'll flip it over and place it on the Fatty Catty card. These do different things. This one skips the next player in order. This one reverses the playing order, so if you're going clockwise, you go counterclockwise and vice versa. If the flip token is one of these 4 looking Fatty Catty tokens, you'll take one of the 2 Fatty Catty type cards, you'll place it on top of the cat tower, and you'll then take one of the face down tokens, flip it over, and do the action as we're showing you. If the token is the all cats are equal, you'll take everyone's cat cards that are in front of them, you'll make one large pile of them, and you'll deal them out in a clockwise manner. And if it gets back to the player that played this, you just continue going around, so some players will have different amount of cards. If the token is cat belly, which looks like this, the player must stack a cat card on its side, just like this, which makes the tower a lot taller. And the last token type is the cat paws. If this is the type that you flipped over, you basically look at your hand of cat cards and you take one and you pass it to the next player, and then they have to add it to the cat tower. And their turn would then end, meaning they're not placing one of their own cards on it. Now let's talk about stacking and cards falling. If you're trying to stack a card, and let's just say the card that you're trying to stack falls, the penalty is 2 cards. In this case, it's just one that fell. So you'll take the one that fell, and you'll take one from the supply, which is the cat tower card. You'll take that. So you'll essentially have the card that you were placing and one additional one, because it's 2 card penalty when something falls. And then it would be the next player's turn, and you leave the cat tower the way it is. But let's say you're placing a card and more than one card falls. Now the penalty is always 2 cards, so these 2 would come back in your hand and you'd leave the cat tower the way it is. It'd be the next player's turn. And if more than 2 cards fell, you still just take the 2 card penalty, and any other cards that are on the ground off the cat tower just get discarded off to the side. And if ever when you're stacking, cards fall and you cause one of the tokens to fall, regardless of how many tokens fell, you take an additional penalty card. So the max that you'll take is 3 cards back into your hand if you made cats fall plus a token fall. Now if you're placing a card, whoa! Now in this case, the whole tower pretty much fell. Now, again, the penalty is always 2, but if you made a token fall, which we will see here, that's an additional penalty card. So you basically have to pick up a total of 3 cards, and regardless of how many tokens fell, it's just 1 penalty card. So the most cards you'd pick up are 3 from here, you discard the rest that aren't part of the cat tower, and it would be the next player's turn. In this case, this would be the only cat in the tower. So essentially I had picked up 3 cards, and the next player will start placing on that cat tower base. Now turns continue like this until someone has successfully placed their last cat card and they have won the game. Well, I hope this helped you dive right into Cat Tower and get to the fun quicker than you normally would if you had to read the rulebook yourself. Now, if you have more questions about the rules, I placed the link below me in the description of this video, and that's the best place to ask them, because not only will I be notified, but so will Renegade Game Studios.